of course, in groups. Once again, it's a reminder that we are all here working kind of separately on different, responsibility of projects, but we need to keep in mind that we are all part of one group, one team, which is basically the Moracle team. Yeah, we are all parts and parcel of Moracle as a group, and so we are the different team members who constitute this group actually. So of course, again, as human beings, starting with that, as human beings in any type of organization or in any type of circumstance, we are faced with different challenges among themselves. Among them, we might we cannot go without talking about a clashing of personalities or characters or cultures or traditions or anything really that may come up, and this might bring conflict in a group. And even when it doesn't happen, at least you can always expect it at one point in time. So you need to be ready as a member of a certain group, ready to face it, ready to address it. And so that allows you to be prepared, and knowing how to address any type of conflict that may arise. It could be at the personal level, it could be at the group level, but a conflict is a conflict. It could be a conflict related to misunderstanding or poor communication or a failure to deliver your part as a team member that affects everyone else in the process, unfortunately. So there are so many types of conflicts that are going to arise, of course, as we work in a team. So today specifically, we will talk about how to resolve conflict at work. So we are using Moracle, we are talking about us. So how do we actually resolve conflict when it arises among us, yeah? So according to me, I want to start by saying that we need, first of all, everyone needs to start by acknowledging the differences in perspective, ideas, opinions, or point of views, understanding of just in general, not just the work that you're working on, but just the fact that we are all different in the first place. Yeah, we are constituting a group. Yes, we are all working towards the main goal. Yes, we are working towards one objective, but again, we might all understand the assignment or whatever it is that is project that we are working on, but everyone must understand that we are different as people, as human beings. We have our different ways of seeing things. We have our different things of understanding things. And so that is just going to play a very, very big role in everything and how we do things, yeah? So when you understand that, then I'm sure you are able to be patient with each other, tolerative with each other. Then you know that so and so might come to me or talk to me or expect this from me because that's how they understand things, that's how they work. It's not personal in the first place, hopefully. It's just because that's how they are. Probably I'll just give an example of a personality type. Someone who is probably short-tempered might not be very patient. And so if you're working with such a person, then you know that if you delayed or if you did not communicate or if you did not express your ideas, they might on time or just something. Let me just talk about if you did not probably deliver because of one reason or another, then this person might not be very patient with you, not because they think you are not capable or you are not able or you are not knowledgeable, but just because that's how they are personality-wise. They are impatient and they're going to react very fast, and you might think it's a personal attack or personal reaction towards you, but really it is just their personality type. So when you start by understanding the people that you're working with, and I know this takes time, this comes after time, but again, even before you discover how each individual or each person in the group is like personality-wise, then you should understand and know that we cannot all be the same. We are all different. We all work in different ways. So if you notice something that is quite maybe not acceptable, maybe offensive, or just not how you would do it normally yourself, try to first be calm and take it as probably just a personality difference, a reason, as the reason behind such happening. So I think conflict resolution is quite a large topic that we all are going to, just talk about and contribute our different ideas of how to go about this. But I thought then, for me, I think it starts with that. Just know that you are just you as you are, and you are meeting other people who are completely, totally different from you. You might share a bit of traits here and there, or just characters, but again, you cannot be exactly like the next person. So you are, first of all, different in this team, and so you are definitely going to have some differences in perspectives and characters and personalities. So when conflict arises, the first thing I think is for you to know that, to keep that in mind, to always actually remember that until you understand the next person that you're working with. Yeah, so I would like to invite anyone else who would like to take over from me and just tell us what they understand or what they think, how they think conflict should be resolved in a group or at work, using Moracle as an example, if you want, or any other type of situation happening in your life, and tell us how we can do this. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So, good morning. Are you getting me?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. No, we can hear you.
Good morning, Noah.
Okay. So, for me, I believe we can be able to resolve conflict at work and in our different groups. The first thing I believe that's very important, each and every one of us within the group or within the organization should take cognizance about for us to have an open dialogue, when we should be very open to communicate with each other, because I do believe if you can be able, if you are open up, let me say, within the group, if you have an open communication, and everybody will be able to give his or her own opinion, and then we'll be able to understand our different perspective about something. Like if there's an issue within a task that you're doing, and then maybe you might have known what's right within the task, and whilst the other person might be thinking, oh, I know how to do this, without your own consent, you don't know what is happening. But because if you guys does not have the kind of opening communication within the team, then automatically you will not be able to know the angle the person is coming from. So you see, but if you have an open communication, you guys have a dialogue, you dialogue each and every time, sets the environment for you to discuss, then trust me, you'll be able to know what to do. You'll be able to understand yourself, each other, and then try to do something. So, and another thing again is about let's embrace everyone, and in terms of embracing everyone, it's about really listening to others. You will never be 100% right in everything that you are doing. Never, it will never happen. Yeah, you might go wrong in one way or the other. So, but if you are a listening person, yeah, trying to pay attention to others, you take cognizance of others' opinion, you pay attention to details of others. Trust me, for you to resolve conflict within the organization, it will be very, very simple. Because if I'm a listening person, each and every time that you are discussing all the things that you are saying, and I take cognizance of them, then trust me, automatically, for us to have a conflict, the probability, I don't think so. So you see, but because we can have issues within the organization if we are not listening to others. You always feel like, oh, I'm Mr. Have right, I'm Mrs. Right. Everything within the organization, no. Things don't go that way. You need to listen to others. So you see, it's very, very crucial also for you to listen to others. Because most people, they will say, oh, I know everything that I'm doing. So they will not pay attention to what others are saying. And another thing again is about us defining our goals. What do we want to achieve? within the organization, because most of the time conflicts will occur when we do not know our goals, what we want to achieve within a certain task. But if we know that, oh, if I go this route, we'll be able to reach our destination. I'll know the task. This is what we want to achieve within the organization. This task that is in our hand. This is what we want to accomplish in it. And then you are going in another way. It's because you don't know. We have not defined our common goals. But you defining our common goals will enable us not to go into conflict, because everyone knows what we want to accomplish here. So how can we have a conflict? I know that this is what we want to do. You know, this is what we want to do. So the best thing you do is that we can collaborate with each other. There comes collaboration. In an organization, in a workplace, we can be able to resolve conflicts based on the manner in which we collaborate in certain things that we are doing. Because collaboration is very key. How we try to discuss with others. Because we are working now online. Moracle, we are working online. But that does not stop you for you not to collaborate with others. There are certain times you only see, okay, I might be looking at the people that are within the organization. Maybe Sukesh is in his room, and maybe Sepida is in her room. I will just go there and check on her. Hi, how are you? So maybe I collaborate with her. I'll try to discuss on certain things. So you see, it's like it's an open platform for us to know what we want to do. So it's very important. First, we need to have an open discussion, and then we need to listen to others, and then we need to collaborate with others. So this is my own contribution to this topic. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Noah. Thank you for reminding us that we are all supposed to work together and just listen to each other, because one person cannot know everything. So it is good to know the goal that we are first working towards, all of us as members in our team. So yes, so that you may be receptive to other people's opinions, yeah, and understand where they come from, and just be open-minded to everyone as a member, as a contributing member of a team. So thank you for everything. Thank you for that. I would like to welcome anyone else to just give us what they think about conflict resolution. Thank you.
Hi, it's Robert. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, Robert. Hi.
Yeah, I think things to do with conflict come sometimes from certain people not giving respect to one another. If there is no respect, most of the time you are not going to take somebody's point of view, and that way a conflict will begin, because straight away you are not ready to listen, and you are not ready to take their point of view. So it's very important to respect one another. And then clarity of issues. If, for example, an assignment has been given, we need to try and understand what the requirements are. Because if something is not clear, we are going to give a different answer or a different argument, and that is likely to arise into a conflict, which is not intended, because whatever instructions you got or your understanding wasn't clear of the issue at hand. And then sometimes when we have conflicts, we need to seek common ground. We need to understand one another again. We need to get to maybe some sort of mediation, just in case we've failed to agree on a single point. If it's between me and somebody else, maybe we need to involve a third party. And then there should be clear guidelines in processes, because many things we do, they are processes, and if you miss a step, you are likely to give maybe a report which is not complete or which is missing something. And if you had clear guidelines, that would help. So whoever is assigning work should try to give very clear guidelines to whoever they are assigning it to. And we should also encourage constructive criticism. If you are to argue a point with somebody, let it be positive. Let it come with, say, a solution. Don't say, Robert or whoever here, I don't want to mention names. Whatever you're doing is not right, and this is delaying everybody. Come up with a solution. Try to help that person to make sure their job is done properly so as to avoid a conflict as you go along. Then whoever is leading a team, I suppose, needs to monitor whatever others are doing to find out, like the gentleman just said, Noah, check in somebody's room and say, how are you getting on? So monitoring whatever people are doing, if say you are responsible, it's another issue to make sure they are on the right path and avoid delays which might result into a conflict at some point. Yeah, that's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert, for that. Yes, I love the fact that you said you have to somehow be, if I can use my own word, be your brother's keeper, really, because we are, of course, all in a team. And if I notice where you are not doing well, then I should be able to just come to you in a good way and tell you this you did not do well, instead of being too I think judgmental, if I could say, without understanding probably what has, maybe challenged this person not to deliver as expected. So, because of course we cannot know everything, and I might know my responsibility or my part of an assignment, but anything could actually come in the way of me delivering how it's supposed to be done. And so I think what I understood by what you have just said is that it's good to just come to me if you feel like I've not done something well. Find out probably, because if we have actually stipulated this assignment to each and everyone, and then everyone knows what they're supposed to do, and if they have not done it as expected, then first and foremost try to understand why they did not do it, how it's supposed to be done. What can you do probably to help them understand why they have not done it before you can move to the next step, probably condemning them or anything like that. I think that is a very important point to note as a team, that sometimes, of course, things will not happen as expected, but it's good to be patient and understanding and just be concerned about your team member to find out what might be stopping them or they might be going through, and therefore stopping them from being effective as expected of them. So thank you for that, Robert. Please, anyone else, feel free to contribute to this discussion. Welcome.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Jessica.
From my perspective, I agree with everything that everybody has said. I think for me, the first thing is that the workplace should actually be a neutral ground, as in a place where everybody feels secure in what they do and everybody feels accepted. For instance, here in Moracle, we're all coming from different locations. We're all coming from different backgrounds. We have different values and interests. So I think if in this kind of platform, everybody feels accepted and everybody feels that they are being motivated and wanted in this workplace, and there's like no negative energy and everybody is very supportive of each other, I think that will aid in a conflict if any conflict possibly arises. So I think the workplace having that kind of atmosphere is quite important in the first place. Secondly, I also think that when the workplace has such a neutral ground, then in terms of conflict, I think people will not feel as if they're not being heard or being listened to. And I also think that it is very important in times of conflict that there is a right, there is someone that is neutral, as in someone that can assess the situation and then choose the right time and location to actually solve that problem. Because sometimes when we're in that negative emotion or in that negative environment where we have issues with another person, or there is some sort of problem, I think we tend not to listen and not to have a level head and make right decisions at that time. So I think if possible, it is very important for a third person, as Robert was saying, to come in and actually mediate that situation. And I think that third person should actually be neutral, as in both parties should feel like that person will not take a wrong decision for both of them. And I also think that that person should also be able to assess that situation and determine whether it is the right time to settle or to speak about what happened, or should we wait maybe a day or two to actually give both parties time to cool off and have a level head. I think in resolving a conflict as well, both parties should be open-minded and willing to resolve a conflict, because I've seen situations where maybe one party is okay in resolving a conflict, but the other party is like, no, I don't want to talk about this. And when they are forced to actually, resolve the conflict, is not done wholeheartedly, and it becomes a pent-up frustration. And at the end of the day, resolves to even a bigger conflict than what it was. So I think it is very important for just the organization to have a neutral ground, be open in communication, give listening ears to both parties, and to have that person that can decide and mediate the situation clearly. Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica, for that. Thank you for introducing that notion of having a mediator if there's a conflict that is failing to resolve between maybe two or more members of a group. I think it is important to have that person that we can always go to if you feel like they might help us better. And yeah, this is something I think for us to just note. And I think as a team, I think we should all be able to identify a person that we feel confident, about, someone that we feel like this is wise, if I can say that, person who would probably help us in terms of resolving any misunderstanding, any conflict, just, to make things easier before they actually escalate or become worse. Because of course we cannot avoid this sometimes. And of course, it doesn't mean that conflict will be always there. And if it is there, it is so serious and so hard, a very complicated, no, but it can be any sort of conflict that, as human beings, we will always face in one way or another. And so having a person that we trust to just give us his neutral point of view or opinion that will be accepted by both parties involved is such an important thing, I think, to remember and always have in mind as a team. So thank you for that, Jessica. And of course, as you said, both parties have to be ready to actually, listen to this mediator. They have to be willing to listen to them and let this person actually come through and, try to resolve whatever conflict that might be. So yes, thank you for that addition. Thank you again. And I want to welcome someone else who would like to talk about this. Yes, anyone, just feel free to come through, maybe before we close. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Sukesh.
so I just wanted to add something. As everyone said, I just want to add, uh, like conflict arises maybe due to open communication, not having maybe due to not having an open communication, and not having common goal. And as you have said, I want to add something, like we need to know like what work you have. I mean, like Arlet has different work, and Nova has different work, Hamad has different work, I have different work. So everyone needs to know their own work. If you involve in their work, conflict may arise, and they don't even have open communication between each other. So because of that, may conflict arise, and it will be very bad for the company. So we need to have a good clarity on what we wanted to do and what is our role in in this company. So yeah, I want to add this. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you, Sukesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I understand well what you have said, I think it's about clarity, very well defining each and everyone's responsibility in whatever we are doing, yeah, so that everyone knows what is expected of them. Everyone knows what their part is in this, maybe combined efforts that we are working on. So I think that will help us to know who is supposed to do what at what particular time, and then also knowing how probably each member works, how do they function, how should I think this helps you individually to know how to just approach them, if I could say, because then you understand how they do things, and then probably what they might not be happy with, or how they might not like it if you talk to them, or just anything. So it is very important, of course, to understand this, I think, to just minimize or probably avoid conflict, yeah, because I don't think it could be difficult to just know everyone and just adapt to everyone's way of doing things. But it is quite an important thing if we need to minimize this conflict, because I think with minimized conflict or reduced conflict, then we are able to work in harmony towards the shared goal. Yeah, so thank you for that, Kesh. Thank you again for everyone's contribution to this topic today. And thank you for making time for this morning session. I think we are going to end our discussion of today here. And just another reminder, I'll be sharing the topics of discussion in the next couple of minutes following this meeting. So everyone who has access to a Moracle email should be able to see the file that I will send, which contains the different topics we are going to talk about in the next few days until the end of the month, with the person to lead us on a specific day. So please just be aware of that, so that you are not caught off guard in the morning. So from tomorrow, everyone should know when they are leading us for the morning session. So I think that's all I wanted to say to you all. So yeah, have a good day, everyone. Thank you again for your contribution.